Good day to you coders, and thank you for supporting us on Project Collaborate. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the list interface. So the first thing I want to draw your attention to are actually the import statements. So we have a lot of import statements. So just to use the list interface, usually you would need to import 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different import statements. But if you notice here on the second import statement, I have this star. And so that allows me to get rid of essentially all of the other import statements. Because with a star, it calls every import in java.util. And so I don't actually have to have 5 different import statements, but I can just have 1. Alright, so getting into the list interface. Basically, what the list interface is it's an interface that is implemented by the ArrayList, LinkedList, vectors, and stack. And so if we want to, let's say, declare a list, we can do list A equals new ArrayList, list B equals new linked list, list C equals new vector, list D equals new stack. So these are essentially the 4 classes that implement the list interface. So we have stack, vector, linked list, and array list, and they all have their separate functions. I won't get into those this video, but I'm sure there's other videos that you can find that will explain each of them separately. And so you're probably wondering, why do we do list A equals new array list when we can do array list? Let's just do an object, array list object, list equals new array list. So why should we be using this over something like this, you're probably wondering. Well, the great advantage of declaring everything as a list is that it's easy to change implementations. So what do I mean by that? So if I let's say declared an array list and I use this line of code, well, the problem with doing that is I would have to essentially change all of the methods as well as this to whatever other type of list I decide to use. So let's say I wanted a linked list, then I would have to change that to a linked list, change that to a linked list, and then as well as in my code, because ArrayList has its own methods as well that linked list may not have, and so I would also have to modify those. And the great thing with using the list as your interface is that if I want to change A to a linked list, all I have to do is change this. And just like that, you are able to implement the linked list. That's essentially the gist of the list interface. It allows you to switch between 2 different implementations very easily, and so therefore it's very advantageous. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments and we'll be sure to get to you. Thank you for listening.